Today on the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, we're doing our instant reaction of the finale of Moon Knight. Here we go. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
And I'm Brian V. Klein.
He said it. You said that like you were a different personality. I liked it. Very, very lilting.
If I would have gotten my Spanish ready, I could have said it that, but I guess my name is the same in Spanish, just with a different inflection.
True. Oh, I love that he speaks Spanish. That's so fun. Oh, man. Okay.
Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alert. Everything. You go, man. What do you think of this finale?
I was grinning in ear to ear the whole time.
Same.
And just being like I was like laughing and being like, oh my God, that's the one. Oh, there was a shot when Moon Knight lands on the pyramid and Arthur sees him and they come together and it sort of tilts and you see the moon in the background and they hit each other. I go, oh my God. The cinematography, everything about this episode I loved. It did seem I was a little concerned because they posted the running time a couple of days ago, and I'm like, are they going to get everything done? And then at the beginning, when they were doing what happened on Earth during the last episode, I'm like, how much are they going to get done? But it was just, no stop. Yeah. And, I got 95% of what I wanted out of it. But at the end, it was just, and especially with that post-credit scene, mid-credit scene was just, oh man, my brain is going a million miles an hour right now thinking, luckily we did not get a Mephisto moment with the third personality. So we see that. I'm assuming that everything is still, he's the whole body entity is, Khonshu still has control over all three, but we knew from the past and just from Mark's reaction that Jake was always sort of like the hidden guy that even, maybe he was thinking that was Steven, and Steven, when he found out, thought that was Mark again. But now it's like, just wow. And Layla, that actress, man, they just, I'm still trying to collect my thoughts here. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed it. This definitely bumped Moon Knight to being right now. I mean, it's an instant thing, but it was borderline being my favorite show right now. It's with him being such a favorite character of mine.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is it being one of your favorite characters and then living up to the hype that you have built up in your head for what this show could be. That's amazing, man.
That had a lot to do with just a lot of people have said with the Disney Plus shows is that the last episodes on some of them have fallen flat and not been able to, capitalize. I think that they did on this one is that they didn't try to link it. And even still right now, there's not very many links to the MCU in itself. Just those two mentions. Yeah. They mentioned that Ancestral Plane. They mentioned Madripoor. And that's really about it. They didn't need to have any major, they didn't need Gore to come in and show that he was the one killing the gods because that was just Amit's doing. And so with how he's going to fit into the bigger picture is yet to be seen, if he even is going to. So, and they didn't even do a thing at the end like they did in Loki. Like, he'll be back in season 2. So we know there's more adventures because Jake's still out there and Khonshu's still out there. So
yeah, I did hear in news reports that they're now considering this a season 1, like a season finale instead of a series finale, which it previously was called a series finale. Like today or yesterday, they came out with the season finale is tomorrow, and I was like, wait a second, that's not what you've been calling it up till now. So apparently, season 2 is coming in some form.
That makes a big difference, though, just because we've talked about it so much with Emmy consideration, because if there is a season 2, then that changes its qualifications from limited series to, drama.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I still either that Oscar Isaac, give him like I said, he should get best supporting and best lead actor in a drama series. For
best supporting and best lead. Okay. So my thoughts are, like you said, all over the place. Just watched it, but man, one of the reasons I often don't like the final episode, and one of the reasons I like Loki's the final episode so much, is because it's a really talky episode. I really like the talking. I really like the exploration of decision making, and that's all the finale of Loki is. But normally these episodes where it's a fight, I mean, this was a fight episode, those normally do not interest me at all. I find them like, whatever. I find them just to be boring most of the time. But they did it right here. They did it like they do in the movies. They have been working on building this character that is Moon Knight They've been working on getting the two personalities to work together. They've been working on like the relationship with Khonshu, the relationship with Layla, introducing Taweret, all this stuff. That two things I was not expecting this episode was, after last episode, I thought we were going to get Steven. We were going to miss Steven for a minute, which, part of me was like, okay, let death matter, all that stuff. But man, the way they did it, the way they did Mark going into the sands of the Duat and like risking his own self to save Steven. And then I just love Taweret saying, Osiris, you old softy, because like I guess Osiris opened the gates to allow them to come back to the land of the living or whatever.
Right, and the symbolism with them, with the two holding the one heart.
Yeah,
it's just like that was just perfect. So,
yeah,
but like you were saying, is that they took the Steven aspect out of the way right away for people that are watching this binging for the first time. All the rest of us had a week to sit there and go, oh my God, what happened to Steven?
Yeah.
Like I even said when we were watching it, just that previously on and seeing that still just like, they got to do something.
Yeah, I rewatched the previous episode while right before this episode, and man, it hit me so hard. Like Steven's death. But what hit me even harder was Mark sitting there thanking Steven for his contribution to his life and like saying like, you saved me. You were always there for me, and you never abandoned me, and I will not abandon you. And it's just so good. And then so that instead of this being a mindless fight sequence, this was our first chance to see Steven and Mark working together. It was our first chance to see Steven and Mark bouncing back and forth. Steven with full fighting ability because he's now kind of unlocked that, and they can actually just go back and forth fluidly, and that was so much fun. Every moment of it was so much fun.
Yeah. And just the way he tells Layla, he's like, "You gotta see, I can't wait to show you my new like unlocked abilities." And then him as Mr. Knight just starts, showing everything that he could do because, like he had said, he is still the same person. He just had to unlock that power. And speaking of Layla, holy crap! She just went full. I had little vision. I mean, of course, you can't really not see it with just having that Egyptian warrior type thing. A lot of times I'm watching her, she looks like she had some of the same looks and moves as say someone like Wonder Woman because of just the wings and stuff. But man, the whole, and especially because I'd like to see what her future story is, because she's just like, well, when Taweret is like, we're going to have so much fun. You as my avatar. And she's just like, temporary avatar.
But then that moment when the little girl says, are you an Egyptian superhero? And she says, I am. Like, I think that Layla's going to embrace it in a way that Mark hasn't. And I also think Taweret, while I think that Taweret is probably trying to get her to keep on as her avatar, at least on the face of it, Taweret seems a little less manipulative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's way more malevolent too, because she is, the goddess of like marriage and just, a lot of the positivity of things. And I think that was the only thing I was waiting for at the scene when they were fighting the Amet and Khonshu, were the giant versions of them, like the kaiju versions of them were fighting. It was like Taweret just going to show up and be like, hi guys.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I wish. Oh man.
But it just showed they just needed to do, what they needed to do with the living versions of them.
They said earlier in the episode, when they're about to kill all the avatars, when Hiro's about to kill all the avatars, he's like, you guys are judges, you're not warriors. You know what I mean? And so like, I imagine Taweret is also not a warrior, even though her avatar is, apparently, or can be. Right. So I'm guessing that's why she didn't actually join into the physical fight. But we've gotten this far in the episode, and we're just now talking about the kaiju versions of two Egyptian gods fighting on the Great Pyramid. Like, that was so cool. It was, and physically affecting the world too. So I'm assuming they couldn't be seen by everyone. Maybe I'm really not sure, because it seemed like at least the disciples could see them.
Right. It was probably like how it was, like in the first couple episodes when the jackals were attacking Mark or Steven, and everyone else is like, what's going on here? I don't see anything. So maybe they were seeing the aftermath of it, but they weren't seeing the actual people, because that would have just, that'd have been something that would have stuck around, and there would have been a lot of footage of it. So I would think that would be something that wasn't seen by everybody, just the believers or whatever. So again, this is going to take a couple more viewings for me to get my head fully around it.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Again, my big takeaway is they did a fight episode right. It felt like a Marvel movie where you had, yes, you're going to have the last 20 minutes are going to be a big set piece, but like a Marvel movie does it right where they save something and something character driven for the last scene. And I think that's what this was. And I cannot wait to see what a season 2 can do with Jake Lockley. And like, are they going to eventually get to where the 3 of them are integrated and can swap back and forth like that? Like, that would be amazing if they could figure out a way to like, heal the relationship even between the divide that seems even greater between Mark, Steven, and Jake, which is apparently so far divided that Jake is still an avatar of Khonshu and they're not.
Right, because Khonshu's not the most, trustworthy person because he's all like, oh yeah, you guys can go, sure. Yeah, not.
Yeah, I wonder how trustworthy Taweret is. I hope she is, because I love Layla and Taweret. I want that to continue.
Right. And I think something like that there's going to be, we find out a lot from the other characters about the relationship between Layla and Jake, or Layla and Mark, about how he did a lot of the stuff to protect her. Now that she is Taweret's avatar, I think what's probably going to happen, or I would think, is that she's going to see what's happening with Khonshu still and make Mark and Steven aware of what's going on. Being like, yeah, you guys aren't free, because she's still an avatar, and I'm sure that she's just not going to be like, all right, bye, Mark, not see him again, because I think this is going to sort of, rekindle their relationship. So, I guess that's what happens when you die for the second time and, come back to life. You're going to be a little bit more appreciative of the life you're living. So,
dude, I'm still just smiling ear to ear over here. Like I feel like normally it's 3 a.m. Like when we do these things, I'm always very tired. These instant reactions, and like I am.
Oh, I've got energy right now.
Yeah, I've got so much energy just from this exciting show. Like it's so good. And I cannot wait for more. And I can't wait for how this intersects with the rest of the MCU, if and when it does,
Oh, exactly. I just got to read something that Courtney put. She's like, wait, so Layla has 2 husbands now? So is it like she's like in a poly relationship? Because, they're 2 different people in a sense, although it's sort of, I thought that was just cool when they were fighting, when he was just going like, all right, Mark, you take over now. And they're being so, appreciative of each other's abilities that there's like no infighting with them. So that'll be interesting.
How weird and interesting will that be next season if we really do get that sort of like, because yes, it does seem like Steven and Layla definitely have affection for each other. And they kissed at one moment. But obviously Mark and her are married and they're all in the same, they're in the same body. So like, I'd love to see them like working out how that works in another season, like that sounds like a lot of fun.
And bring Jake into it.
Also, Layla saw Jake full on and was like, yes. What happened? Is that you? And
what was that? So
I blacked out, he said.
Yeah. That last part's going to take a little bit, just from the time of Khonshu, quote unquote, releasing Mark and Steven to where he wakes up in the facility again and realizes that this is still in his head, but the bloody footprints. And then they wake up in real life. And then I'm assuming that Khonshu, he was supposed to kill, or he wanted Mark to kill Harrow so that they're both imprisoned. But yet he gets him into a psychiatric facility in real life. And so that's why he breaks him out at the end with Jake. So I'm assuming that all of that after, they're in Dr. Harrow's office. The rest of that's all real world.
Well, it also could just be that Harrow, like all the disciples are dead except for Harrow, and Amet goes out on the streets and starts yelling about how she's a god, and but without her powers, maybe he just gets institutionalized. I'm not sure how all that exactly happened, and it cutting from the apparent organizing device that is the Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, like mental institution, and then like jumping into a real mental institution was kind of jarring. Like I kind of lost the thread. I'm like, what's real and what's not? And I think that's part of the point, you know?
Right. And I think since the whole thing that happened at the pyramid, Layla was there. Once we bring her back in, she could just be like, yeah, this is what happened. He released you. You guys, went on your way. But then I'm sure that there was still, some Jake moments or something. I don't know. It's just, speculation. Well, I can't wait for more of this. I'm sure I'm going to be rewatching. Hopefully they announce something soon that, yeah, it's coming back for season 2 or it's going to be integrated in this or something. So,
yeah. Oh,
man.
I can't. Yeah, I want more of this so bad. And again, I can't say enough how much I loved the incredible fight sequence when Steven and Mark are swapping back and forth, and you've got Mr. Knight doing certain things well, and then Mark doing other things. It was like Daredevil, Deadpool, Batman. Like it was just all mixed together, flying around, using the grappling hook, using the sticks like Daredevil, then like taking out those things and start getting all stabby. It was so much fun. Ugh. So much fun.
Yeah, that was just, man. Again, I'm like, things are popping in my head going, oh, you got to bring this up again. And man, I feel like I'm Mark/Steven right now with my head. It's just like, I got to collect my thoughts a little bit better.
No, I hear you. It's late, but also like I'm kind of on cloud 9. I feel like that's the way with these series though. Like a lot of times the last episode, there's less speculation to be had. And it's more just about, discussing it. And like, this just landed so well. Like I have no complaints at all about this series. I really can't think of a complaint.
No, they could have actually done it if you didn't watch the post-credit. It could have just been like, the series is over. Boom, it's done.
Yeah.
Mark and Steven are going to live their lives happily ever after together.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. They're not free yet, and he's not. Because you could sort of tell the whole time now was that Khonshu was hiding Jake for how long? Because there was times when Mark was even saying, I thought that was you. So if he's blacking out from stuff, it could be him just letting Steven take over. But like, nope, there's Jake. So, put that to rest too. Everyone with the whole Jake Fisto, theories about how, we knew that there was the third personality and that it was ready to, we saw it in the sarcophagus in the end of episode 4. And some people were speculating, I saw that could just be Moon Knight being an ability that he has without Khonshu. So he could still use the suit and stuff, but didn't quite need Khonshu. And I'm like, that sort of defeats the whole purpose of everything then.
Right.
So for him to be Moon Knight, he has to have Khonshu. I mean, they come one and the same. There are ways in the comics where they can sort of trap Khonshu and he still has the power, but he isn't being manipulated or controlled by him. So maybe we'll end up getting it that way in a sense because Khonshu just showed himself again at the end of this to just be a total dick.
What a freaking complicated relationship, and all inside this one man, and it's so good. Let's read. If anybody has any feedback in the live chat, please tag at Stranded Panda TV. We have Greg Poole 27 says that was so damn great. I thought it was a perfect finale. Also, quick question: why did Taurawet's suit have wings? I wondered the same thing.
I think they all have the ability to fly in some way or another. I guess that's it. So, yeah, I mean, it would be kind of hard to have Layla's avatar suit be sort of reflective of the character because, although hippos are dangerous, I don't think they're very nimble or they can't fly. So that just gives her the power. Like, here's an extra ability to help you, fight on the mortal plane in my name.
For sure. I fully loved the costume, and I love that Tawaret was so excited about it. She was like, we're going to have so much fun together. And then and then she's like, I have the perfect idea for an outfit. Like, I love Tawaret so much. But I did kind of want it to be a hippo outfit. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like it should be. But then you think about Khonshu and Mark Spector doesn't look like a dead bird or whatever, No,
and I think her outfit sort of resembles, at least in design, a little bit the design of the Tawaret's costume she had on.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But that scene where she was sitting there contemplating it, and she's sort of talking to herself in both Taurette's voice and her voice, and she's just like, oh no, we're gonna do this, but it's like it's temporary, but I gotta release him. So I love that when she was just like battling, and finally she's like, okay, I think I can trust Taurette to be benevolent in a sense that it's not going to be the same situation, because she even said to Khonshu, when Khonshu offered her the role of being his avatar, she basically tells him to F off. I'm like, no, you destroyed him. She's like, you saved him, but you destroyed him.
Right.
So I do not want that.
Mark doesn't trust you, and I don't trust you. No, right. I said no. Like, she just will not take on the duty of, the avatar of Khonshu. But she, in that moment, she realizes the only way to save the world is they need more avatars. And so she volunteers to be Taurette's avatar. At least it's the devil you don't know, I suppose, or the god you don't know.
Right.
With she knows Khonshu is deceptive. But yeah, I don't know. There was definitely like a vibe that I got from Taurette where she's trying to convince her. There's definitely like all the gods seem to want to convince someone to be their avatar. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they need an avatar for the world. But yeah, it's like convincing someone to give up their own goals and, whatever, and be part of your, your service or whatever. It's weird.
Right. I mean, it would have to be a tough choice of theirs to be able to just give that up. But
yeah.
It seemed like the people that were the other ones that all got butchered at the end by Amit seemed to be, regular people that were just there as, like they said, judges. So it wasn't as manipulative as Khonshu was to Mark and / Steven. So I guess it could be some benefit to it, but otherwise it's just, we don't interfere with daily life. So business as usual for the most part.
Yeah.
They just call you to action when you got to fight other avatars, or maybe now when a bigger threat comes to the planet. So we really don't know yet exactly when this took place as far as the MCU timeline. So I'm assuming it's post blip. We don't know.
Yeah, we do, because there was that van in episode 2 or 3 that was the a van passed by that had the logo from Falcon Winter Soldier. About the whatever the organization that was doing cleanup after the blip. So
okay, that's right. There is the 3 mentions of the MCU in here. So
yeah.
But
well, man, we don't have anything else in the chat, and I don't have much else to say. And we're getting done kind of early since we got the episode was so short. So I'm gonna go edit this thing and get it on the internet. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our watches and our podcast of Moon Knight. We are the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, and we'll be continuing talking about Moon Knight. We've got Multiverse of Madness coming out this week. If you like this, please subscribe. Hit the, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe and the bell icon and all that. And if you're on whatever your podcatcher is, please hit subscribe. We really want to grow the show and see the community around this podcast grow. We're having a ton of fun talking about this stuff every week. So tell people about your show, BVK.
My show on the Stranded Panda Network is called Source Pages. It covers comics and novels. Myself and my podcasting partner, Haley Hobbs, basically recently have been doing a lot of Moon Knight and America Chavez, just reading the comics and getting people primed for their appearances, because there's been a lot of, in this part of Phase 4, a lot of brand new characters. We got America Chavez, we got Moon Knight, we've got Miss Marvel coming up, and a lot of people have no idea who these people are. So we're getting it out there to give you a little bit of taste of what they can do. So we're dropping this was probably the hardest primer we ever did. It's Doctor Strange, some recent runs, and we're just like, we have no idea. So we just went with a couple weird ones that had Wanda and other characters we know are going to be in the movie in it. So we really don't need to prime Doctor Strange, but it's still fun to read some comics, especially because lately we found that we're doing a lot of Jason Aaron stuff, because he is pretty much like a Marvel royalty as far as that type of goes. And I just wanted to show you something. Last weekend I was at ICC Con in Nashville, and this just shows how long I've been reading Moon Knight. I picked up an issue that I had read to death when I was a kid from 1982. It's Moon Knight number 36, and it's the first time that Mark and Doctor Strange meet.
Oh, wow.
And it is such a weird episode or weird issue. Again, I always get episode and issue confused. So if you're listening to the podcast and you hear me talk about an episode, it means issue or vice versa. So they're the same thing in my head. So, But yeah, check us out over there. There's just a lot of fun shows on the Stranded Panda Network. Any type of genre you could think of, it's covered in some way or another. So,
yeah, anything geeky, we try to cover it. So strandedpanda.com, but like specifically Source Pages is your show. And if you like the show, a lot of people, the cool thing about your show that I love is that you guys do the reading. And so some people want to hear the primer, like you say, and some people want to wait till the show is over before they dive into the comics because they don't want spoilers or whatever. So if you like Moon Knight and you want some more Moon Knight content, go check out Source Pages because they just did a big 3-part Moon Knight primer that would function great as just like a look into what Moon Knight in the comics is like. And I'm sure we'll do some sort of wrap-up cast about like the show and how it was different.
Yeah, we did that. We're going to record that tomorrow. We've done 4 episodes on Moon Knight. The first one we did was the main primer, was the Jeff Lemire run from 2014, which has to do a lot with Mark and Jake and Steven battling, and it is focused in a mental institution, which we thought, okay, this is just going to be a cool, fun way to, read the comic to get people out there involved. But then all of a sudden we see the end of episode 4. I'm like, I didn't think that they were going to take that plot line and pull it into the TV show. So if you want to see more on the whole aspect of Jake dealing with, or Mark and Steven and Jake dealing with the whole trichotomy, I guess, of the multiple personalities taking over, listen to that. There's, like I said, there's 3 episodes, and the first one is just called Who is Mark Spector? And then we go from there. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think we're probably going to do some more just to keep it in my mindset of read. I would always leave reading more Moon Knight, and the recent run has been really good too. So
rad.
Just love that he's getting his name out in the zeitgeist, that he could be like as popular. I remember reading Deadpool 30 years ago, and all of a sudden he just became like a state. People knew who Deadpool was and never read the comics or whatever. So.
Yeah, I've been hearing about Moon Knight my entire life, but I've read like one Moon Knight comic just to like see what it was like, but I've never dived real deep into it. So it's really cool to finally put a couple episodes with the name, as it were. It's super rad. Cordo B in the chat says something really fun I didn't think about that I didn't think about while we were talking. And that is that Layla has a chance to speak to her father via Towerette, which I could I want a Layla show now. I really do. Like, I want a show where Layla has to deal with like what it's like to be Towerette's avatar, and then dealing as well with like, if she can actually speak to her father, especially like Court's saying, or just somehow. Maybe that's Towerette manipulating her to try to like keep her on the hook. I'm really curious how that's going to work.
Right. I think she might be a little bit more benevolent, but still just like you won't see her beg to keep her on. So, but that'll be a benefit of having Layla be the avatar, is that, yeah, she can still converse with her father.
Yeah. Oof. That's wild. That's wild.
Just at least telling him that, oh, he'll be so happy. I brought him to the field of reeds and allowed him to, so she knows that he at least passed on to the good after, like the good place.
Yeah, the good place. Just since I'm reading them out, Greg Poole also said, did we find it strange that it didn't say Moon Knight / Mr. Knight / Mark Spector / Stephen Grant / Jake Lockley will return at the end? I guess I didn't think it was strange. I mean, sometimes they do that, but they don't always. So,
no, I think the only time they did that was Loki, but I think it infers that with, at the end of Loki, we see him in that other multiverse. And then in this one, we see Jake appear for the first time.
Yeah, they've done it in movies and stuff too. They did it like Spider-Man will return and Homecoming and stuff like that. But it's not, they definitely don't always do it. So I don't think it's like necessary to predict a season 2. This is getting some sort of continuation for sure.
Yeah, we will definitely see, Mark Spector will return in some way or another. So
100%.
Cannot wait.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, check out Source Pages, hit subscribe wherever you're listening or watching this. We appreciate you guys joining us for real. Cannot wait. I can't believe we're 36 hours from Multiverse of Madness. I will be in the theater 36 hours from now watching Multiverse of Madness. Very excited. So if you're hearing this, we'll be doing the live podcast around 6:30 or 7 Central on tomorrow night or Thursday, whatever day it is. I don't know what day it is. Thursday, 6:30 or 7 Central. As soon as we can get to Twitch, we'll be on twitch.tv/strandedpandatv to talk about Multiverse of Madness. So come join us, or just go over there. You will not.
I'm not good. I have so much stuff going on that I'm not going to be able to see it until early afternoon on Saturday.
What?
Yeah, I got a buddy's birthday party on Friday I have to go to, and then tomorrow night I've got a ton of stuff going on, and plus I'm waiting to see it with Liz, and she's coming out here, and we would have seen it Friday. But yeah, I'm going radio silent.
Yeah. You better throw your phone in a Faraday cage or something, or your head in a Faraday cage.
It's one of those times where it's just like, I wish I could freeze myself in carbonite for a bit, but then it's like, well, that defeats the purpose of how busy I'm going to be, and I'll still have to do that when I got out anyway. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be avoiding everything I possibly can. So
yeah,
if you don't hear me on or see me on the chat for a while, it's because, not that I don't love you guys, it's that I have to avoid any kind of spoilers that pop out there.
Yeah. I mentioned it. I don't think it was on the cast. I went to a bar tonight, and that like one of the TV spots came on behind my girlfriend's head, and I was like, no. And I saw one or two things I did not want to see. So that's a bummer.
Oh, TJ, no. He says he can't see it until Tuesday night.
Oh, no.
It was nice knowing you, TJ. We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, bud. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here so we can get this thing posted. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Thank you for joining us for the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. Available everywhere you get podcasts, and now a video version streaming live on twitch.tv/strandedpandatv and available at youtube.com/strandedpanda. And if you'd like to learn more about all of our other podcasts, geeky projects, and ways to support the network, visit strandedpanda.com.